years or fewer. Nothing we receive is brand new. It's just newer. While brothers drop down.
Welcome back to Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I'm Mike Witzak.
My name is Rory Farrell.
And today we have...
Michelle Parkhill,
Hell yeah. Michelle, and who are you with?
EXP Realty.
Awesome.
All right, welcome. Thank you for. I've been wanting to have you on for a while.
I
You were
know,
kind of
this
like
is long
busy for
overdue.
the past year or so.
I wasn't local either, so it's.
Oh, that's true. Well,
It's
we've had
not-
people from Philly, and we've had someone from California on.
But do they also have an 8-month-old that,
Nah, he had a 2-year-old.
while renovating a
Yeah.
house and trying to,
Hey, you're teasing. We're gonna get into all that. All right.
all those things?
But thank you for coming on. Thanks for coming
Yes.
up.
Rory did something special today.
Well, it's 10 a.m. on a Thursday.
It is.
Full disclosure. And beers could have been an option, but it probably wasn't the best option. So, and also I wanted to,
Show off your...
fancy glasses that I just recently got.
Let me tell you something. Rory talked about these glasses for like a week in the office.
Do not break that glass.
And he was
Got
like,
you.
he's like, dude, I friggin' back researched an image of this glass, and now they're at Target. So he's like, I'm picking them up. And
I almost got one on eBay, or got them on eBay for like $100. I'm like, oh no, they're at Target for $4.
Oh my God, Rory. You can find these at thrift stores.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, but that's hard to do. You got to like really
You have to go to the
search.
thrift
Yeah.
store.
So,
I don't.
anyway, espresso martini in a cocktail glass because number one, I wanted to show it off. Number two, I don't have martini glasses.
Yeah.
So, cheers.
And it's
Cheers.
10 a.m.
More appropriate 10 a.m.
Agreed.
cocktail for our happy hour.
Thank you, Rory. Very thoughtful.
Oh,
And it's good. actually.
zippy. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
boozy up front,
Yo, I like it.
but it'll,
This is good.
it'll ease off.
It'll
Not-
get us through
yeah.
the day.
Not the best espresso martini I've ever had, but it's very
Wow.
good.
We're also not at a bar. We're at a
Tough
mortgage
crowd.
company. So.
No,
They were made in Yetis. So
all-
what is your expectation here?
There's nothing Rory can do that I won't be tough on.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so let's get into it. Happy Friday, happy hour.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, but it's these get released.
Friday.
This will be out tomorrow.
These get released on Friday.
Yeah.
You're ruining the podcast.
I'm ruining the podcast.
Yeah. So Michelle, I've known of you for a long time. You were roommates with Maggie.
Yeah. So Maggie and I have known each other since freshman year of college.
Maggie Slomiani, shout out.
Yes. And Sonia now.
What?
She's in
I know.
Sonia.
She's always gonna be Maggie Slomiani to me.
Slomiani.
I've known Maggie since probably
Yes.
7th
So
grade or maybe even earlier.
it's all her fault that we're friends now.
No, it's good. Thanks, Max.
And then I ended up in Rome in college with Tara Bevavino.
Oh, I forgot. I don't know if I knew that. I mean, I
That's
knew you know
hilarious.
Tara,
Yes.
but I didn't know that that's where you met her from.
So
Also
Tara
past
and
guest.
I know, studied abroad in college together and drifted apart and randomly found each other in the bullpen of Keller Williams Bluebell. At this point, I guess, I don't know, 8 years ago. But she heard someone say my name and she pokes her head up from the
That's
the
when people used to
cubicle.
be in offices.
Yeah, so
in
when we were in
cubicles.
offices and she pokes her head up from the cubicle and she said, Michelle Parkhill? And I looked at her and I said, Tara? And our eyes met and then like
You guys were meant for each other.
we remember each other. So we picked up right where we left off, a little older, a little bit more sober.
Yeah.
So funny.
Had a couple
And now
fun
we
nights
do
in
a
Rome.
lot of business together too. So it's been really fun.
It is cool
awesome.
because like she's been pregnant a couple times over
Yes.
the past, and then you were pregnant. So
Yes.
like during those times, those transitionary periods, you guys were very helpful with each other, which I thought was very cool.
Yes, we were.
So, and you guys, even at that point, I don't think we're with the same brokerage, right?
No, because I left for EXP. She joined her dad,
Yeah.
but we still collaborate. It's
You guys like almost had a podcast. Yeah, I think you did one
we
episode.
had a lot of ideas. I wouldn't call it a podcast so much.
It was
as
very similar to what we were doing. You were trying to.
a reel that we made at a wine bar.
It was just an excuse to get away from
It was-
husbands
Hey.
and kids.
Well, we
That
brought
works.
them.
Oh, you did? Oh, that was a bad idea.
Someone had to film it.
Oh, that's true.
That works. Hey, look. Don't
Yeah.
matter.
And then the kids kept coming, and wine became fewer and fewer.
Harder to come by.
Yes. So, but now everything is the babies are birthed. So maybe this is our year.
I think it's time to start back up. Yeah.
Start back up with the wine. Well, we're starting drinking early.
Yeah.
so
You guys
you're
should
welcome.
come. You guys should come in here. We'll film it for you, and then you pay us with wine.
Deal.
Stoop
All right.
Gang
Sold.
2.0.
Yo, Stoop Gang 2.0. I love that. I love
Sold.
Stoop Gang.
So let's get into it. So that's how I know you. It was funny because Maggie, I think on her deal when she was buying.
Not to cut you off there. I do have a question real quick because you guys are talking about all this. Did you guys go to the same high school? Like, did you?
Me and
Rory?
Michelle?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, where did you go to high school?
Manasquan High School, New Jersey, at the shore.
Oh, so you just knew
I
some
knew
mutual people with
mutual
him.
friends of him.
Okay.
And it was before Maggie bought her house. She said, I really want you to meet Rory. He works for Marathon Mortgage, and I think, you guys would hit it off, and he would be a great partner
lender.
for you.
Yep.
And we grabbed coffee at the Starbucks, I think, right down the street.
Oh, yeah,
when
we
it was
did.
at the old location.
Yeah, yep.
And then she decided to buy a house.
Yep.
So we worked together for the first time. And the rest is history.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, cool. I was curious about because you guys were naming people. He's like, I know her since 7th grade, and I know you and Tara went to high school together. And stuff.
Yeah.
We're
And I'm
skipping
thinking-
ahead. We're
Okay,
Keep up,
all right.
Michael.
we're filling in each other's
My bad.
blanks, but you're just,
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm just over here. My
You're
bad.
just
Sorry
over
about
there.
Michael was in diapers when we were in high school.
Probably.
Stop it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, what year did you graduate high school?
2002.
I was actually probably in diapers. Yeah. I don't know when I got potty trained, but it was like 3 years old.
I turned 41 yesterday.
Happy
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Shoot, I didn't know that.
birthday.
Yeah.
Dragging you in here the day after your birthday.
It's okay.
How you feeling?
Feel great now.
Good. Perfect. So anyway, sorry to cut you off in the middle of your question there, but I was
No. I was going to say the first time we actually worked together was with Maggie.
Yes.
So that was kind of like my trial period.
Yes.
So I'm glad I did an okay job.
And then also your name has always shown up every once in a while on pre-approvals on the listing
On the
side,
list side,
too,
yeah,
which
which
is
is
always nice.
It is. That's how I feel like I get not a lot about it, but it's a source of business for us because like if your name's kind of around
Yes.
and you're doing enough business, it's like even if you don't know me or whoever that person is, you're like, oh, that person he must be okay,
Right.
And then all of a sudden you get a chance to
Exactly.
do a deal, and then that's like our main stage. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
how do we overperform to make sure that we're killing? We just had this conversation yesterday, like how to like get more business out of listing agents and
Right.
create relationships based
Well,
on
it's
that.
a no-brainer. When you see a familiar name on the other side, you're able to tell your client, listen, I've worked with them. They're great. Their transaction is foolproof.
Clip that. I need to send that to every one of my buyers who are shopping me after I've done months of work for them. Hey, this is part of the reason why you got the house
but
under
it's
contract.
true.
It's an important
It's
part
true.
of the piece. So
It is.
clip it.
Okay. I'll do my best.
All right. So we did a couple of transactions, and then you had a baby, moved to Philly, stopped talking to me for a year.
I didn't talk to anybody for a year. I was drowning, but I'm back up for air.
Nice.
And I guess, what has been going on the last year? We were in Ambler. We had been,
Okay.
my husband and I had been in Ambler for a couple years, and we got pregnant and had no intentions of moving. And then Charlie was born, 3 months old. A house came on the market. Well, it wasn't even on the market.
Yeah, it was kind of an off-market.
It was an off-market
lucky thing, right?
opportunity that one of my friends had the listing contract, and she said the seller really doesn't want people in the house. And I said, well, will she take us in the house? So she said, let me talk. And we packed up 3-month-old Charlie, and we went over. The seller agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And we showed him off, and we said, our poor baby needs a home.
Okay. Perfect. Beautiful. Yes.
And the woman said, yes, he does. And he needs a big backyard, and I have that. And we were able to write up an agreement and not have to compete with anyone, which is super rare
that's
in
awesome.
Ambler Borough. So
In Maggie's neighborhood, right? Or
right,
close to.
right behind Maggie's house. We
That's
can see
awesome.
Maggie's deck from our street corner if we wanted to.
Are boys throwing rocks
Creepy
through your
like that.
windows?
No, but they do drive-bys on their bikes, and it's really cute because you see these 2 little kids with the helmets drive by, stare in our window, wave, and then continue on.
That's funny.
But it is like a neighborhood is such an important part of buying
It
a new
is.
home, and you don't know, like you knew that she lived there, but you also don't know who your neighbors are a lot of times.
No,
so,
no,
like,
not at all. But we did know that we were ready to be in the suburbs of Ambler Borough. We were dangerously close to Rita's,
Okay. Yeah.
even more dangerously close to Forest and Maine.
Oh.
yeah, you guys were a walk into
Yes.
all that. Yeah, Forest and Maine was right there. Yeah.
If you look at our credit card statement from those first postpartum months, it was Forest and Maine, Forest and Maine, Forest and Maine, Amazon.
Rita's. Yeah. Amazon.
I was gonna say Amazon's
But it was just
Amazon's like
Amazon
boom, boom.
Amazon and Forest and Maine. So we said, I think we need to like take a break, step back, and like go up the hills into Ambler to make
I'm
it
not
a
gonna have
little bit more
self-restraint. I'm gonna
difficult.
physically move my family further away.
Exactly. We are not willing to exactly.
It's like going sober. Yeah. It's like you have to move away from
We
everything.
have to sell the house and move
Yeah.
because otherwise it's too tempting.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's good though.
But of course, the home needed a full renovation.
Okay.
So we decided to take on a renovation with an essential newborn and
Ooh.
sell 2 homes so that we could maximize our, money out of those and put them into the new house to make sure that it was everything we wanted.
Did you have like a shore home or something, or did you?
So
rent
we had our home, and then next door we had a duplex.
Okay.
So we were
Oh, I didn't know you owned on. Was it Madison? Matson?
Mattison.
So you owned the duplex which you lived in.
So our home was
We're all over the place. Sorry.
I'm like just trying to.
Just
I'm
like-
just trying
I'm
to
just
stay
trying to
up.
wake up.
Yeah.
our home was a duplex.
Okay.
So which was amazing for us as a couple
this, yeah.
because we lived upstairs. We had a downstairs tenant, and his rent essentially paid for almost the
The
full
entire
mortgage.
mortgage. Yep.
So we were able to save for other things, spend all of our money at Forest and Main.
Beautiful. Yes.
And then next door, we had a duplex that operated as like a regular
Rent.
tenant occupied
Yep.
duplex. When we got pregnant, we decided we need more room. So we converted our duplex back into a single family.
Okay.
I remember that now. So you had two duplexes,
Yes.
basically side by side.
Side by
Switched
side.
one to a single.
Switched
and then-
one to a single, and had no intentions of moving, and then we did.
Gotcha.
So we had finished renovating our duplex,
Okay.
and then said, well,
We're gonna move now.
we're going to move now.
But you probably got top dollar for it because it was newly renovated.
We got top dollar because
And
it
you,
was newly
and, you,
renovated.
and you had a great realtor, I imagine.
We had a great realtor. She priced the house perfectly.
Perfectly. Nailed it.
Perfect.
But it is, I'm glad we got into this because you do have a history of like renovations, flips, like you and your father, right?
My dad and I guess you could say it was in my blood. This is all his fault. We can only blame him.
It's a good thing to blame for.
I was born into a home that was under renovation.
Awesome.
My mom has
Are you just passing this on to Charlie?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I know.
As is it
You're not
a
breaking
boy
the
or
cycle.
girl?
the drywall dust flows through our blood,
Yes,
as
perfect.
does it flow through Charlie.
Ah,
Lead-based paint chips, all that stuff.
All of
It's
that,
good.
all of that. She has memories of the fumes, like me as a baby in my room, and the fumes of like paint and spackle just emanating like up to the third floor. And of course,
Yeah.
I do the exact same thing to my own child.
hey, yummy.
It'll be fine.
But it's all his fault. We
All the baby's fault.
No, or
no,
dad's.
my dad's. But
There's a lot that we can blame on babies.
yes,
This is not one of them.
Not one of them. But he was also always like a firm believer of never buy the nicest house on the block, buy the house with the most potential. So I think with him just growing up, I lived through maybe 3 or 4 renovations.
renovations?
Are these
They're-
primary homes or are
Oh,
these?
yeah.
Oh yeah. So you just
He
move
would
in.
renovate them while we were
Yeah,
living
yeah.
in them. Like the difference in this generation is we actually didn't move Charlie
We're
in
softer, yeah.
until the house was done. But growing up, we lived.
My dad was just telling me about it. He's like, yeah, I was an accident child. So he was born 15 years after his brothers and his sisters. And he's like, yeah, my parents would just like drive me across the bridge, just Jersey, because they had friends there. And he's like, they'd have all the windows up, just smoking, blowing him. And
ripping cigs.
and he'd ask them to put the window down. They tell him to shut up. They keep blowing smoke in his face. Like, it's just, I mean, that's how they grew up.
Not
You know?
care.
Yeah.
So when you
Well,
wanna,
we didn't
like,
know cigarettes were
slide
bad
No,
back then.
in-
yeah, you had no idea. So it's like now, though, now you just, you have to live somewhere else. So
Yeah,
did you live off site while it was being renovated?
Yes, so that's why I didn't really see Rory or anyone else for a couple of months because we moved to Philly for 7 months. And
This is making so much more sense. You
Yeah.
guys really were all over the place because you're like, when you moved to Philly, and then she's like, yeah, I bought a place in Abington. I'm like, when did you move to Philly?
we were very hyped.
Ambler, whatever.
We're
Yeah.
just
Well, we
Hi,
also
we're
just
high
had
on our
coffee like a
espresso
couple weeks ago, so we're like
martinis.
catching
Yeah.
back up about all
Okay.
this stuff.
All right.
So.
So-
It was like rapid fire.
Okay. So you moved while the house was being renovated. You moved to Philadelphia.
Yes, which coincidentally was a finished renovation project that I had just wrapped up a couple months prior. So like
Was that home
literally,
he owned?
So you own the house in Philly.
yes, my parents and I have that.
Okay, and
Project together.
that's a flip.
I wouldn't call any of these properties flips because
like a rental?
we become emotionally connected to all of them and never sell them.
Okay, so it's a rental.
It is a family place.
I'm not going to ask any more questions.
No.
So you fixed that up.
Don't ask logical questions.
No.
Why would you fix something up and then not rent
It's a
it?
family gathering place. My sister's in DC. We're in Ambler. My parents are at the Jersey Shore. So it's a house that's in the middle of all of us. We can, like last year, not 2 years ago, we spent Thanksgiving there. So
Oh, cool.
Neat.
it's like that.
Okay. So you renovate that place in Philadelphia.
Yes. And then
Where
we
is
move
it-
into that one.
Where is it at in Philadelphia?
So that's at 13th and Lombard, right in Washington
okay.
Square West.
Yes. Okay. Very nice.
Amazing street, Rodman Street.
Yes.
It was so fun to move back to Philly because we hadn't been there for a couple years. The weather was perfect for us. And Charlie just became a city baby.
Just cruising around, you're up a baby. Boom, boom, boom.
The Nuna.
The Nuno, I'm sorry. We didn't have any. We had the Graco.
Yes, we went to the grocery store every day, all the grocery stores.
Which ones? Where did you frequent on those?
Oh, well, we went to the Acme,
Okay, yes.
the Whole Foods.
Oh, I was going to say there
Rittenhouse
has to be a
Market.
Whole Foods in that area.
Depends on what you got to get, right? You get your
Exactly.
Yeah.
bulk order at the
Yes,
Acme,
yes.
right?
And then the farmers markets and the beer store.
Yeah, I love all the local places. Like I live in Fairmount, so
Okay.
I live on 29th and Girard, so like right on the edge of Brewery Town in Fairmount.
Yes.
And like if you go onto Fairmount Ave or you go a little bit further, it's like the Whole Foods is there on Spring
Yes.
Garden, and then you got the local
You've
places
got
on
your
Fairmount Ave. It's
spot.
like you got your local spots. Yeah, it's fun.
Exactly, and like the deli meat was the best from Rittenhouse Market, so we'd go to Rittenhouse
There you
Market
go.
to get that.
Yeah.
You know, and
Beautiful.
We'd end the day at Dirty Frank's a lot of the time. Again, we were dangerously
What's
close.
Dirty Frank's? I don't think I know Dirty
It's a
Frank's.
little dive bar right at the corner of 13th and
Baby
Powell.
friendly.
Baby friendly,
Even better.
outdoor seating. It is very diverse and eclectic and fun inside, so
Okay.
there's lots to look at. And
That was a big word.
cash on.
Eclectic.
What? Say it again.
Eclectic.
Eclectic. It's a new
You
word.
can tell he went through college
Word
and
on
COVID. He didn't have to learn anything.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to. I did nothing. It's
Three
pretty.
syllables.
Three syllables. Yeah.
Let's see if we can
Eclectic.
spell it. Spell eclectic.
No, don't do this. Next. Dirty Frank's.
It
Great
is,
place.
but it's cash only, no food, so it's one of those spots.
Yeah. There's a lot of them still in Philly.
And I tell you what, Charlie was the most popular patron there for 7 months.
That's
and
awesome.
the bouncers knew his name.
Do you miss Philly now?
Yeah, all the time. But we're supposed to be an Ambler right now.
Okay.
Yeah, for being not from Ambler, you're synonymous.
Yes.
At least in my head, like
Yes.
with Ambler. You've been there
Exactly.
forever. That's like where you do a lot of your business. You know
Yes.
people there. Yeah.
How many bedrooms is this place in Philadelphia?
4. With a roof deck.
Nah, too big. Too big.
Okay. I have to.
You charge me way too much in rent. I can't afford
Yeah,
it.
I'll send you a picture. We did a really cool thing with the roof deck. Since it was an older home and we didn't really have a place to put the stairs, we came up with this Murphy bed type solution where the stairs actually fold down off of the wall, and then you can go up into the pilot house to access the roof deck. So when you're not using the roof deck, you just fold the stairs right back up against the wall, and you can use the room as an office.
We
yoga
gotta see
room.
this for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys a picture.
That's awesome,
You
yeah.
can splice it in.
I hate this. I kind of want it. That's how you want to rent it to me?
I will.
All right.
But
They-
we need it
you
back
just-
in the fall for football season.
You need to get
can
out of there
have it
for
for the
Thanksgiving
summer.
and main holidays so her family can
I
show.
have to, next April, I'm moving out of my place. Like I have
Period.
to. Yeah, period. Because my one roommate's already leaving and the other roommate's getting married. So we have to
Yes.
get to
it's
step.
time.
So I don't know where I'm gonna
He doesn't find a place. He's living in my basement
yeah,
in Doylestown.
literally, I'm all over the place. I'm like, should I go to Quakertown? Should I
talk.
stay in Philly? Should I do whatever? So, all right,
Talk.
cool.
I'll give you a short-term lease.
Perfect.
Okay.
That works.
Amazing.
Month to month. I'll stay there for a month. I always want to
That's
do
fine.
that.
It's furnished.
I've
Check his
always wanted to
references
do that.
first. Check his credit score and his references.
It is furnished. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Beautiful.
Where were we? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know. Squatting loves in Philly
Okay,
rule
so
though.
that's how we ended up in Philly. That's why we were
Yes.
talking about being in Philly.
This
because
makes a lot more sense now. Okay.
we sold our Ambler places, moved to Philly, and then I
Mm-hmm.
started renovating.
Okay. And how long did the renovations took? 7 months.
We let the seller stay there through the summer.
Okay.
So we got started in September,
Okay.
and we were in by January. So
Okay.
it was an all hands on deck situation.
You got out of the city like right in the middle of the winter too. Like
Oh yeah.
Now,
I'm like,
not as
let's
fun.
put
It's
new
not as fun in the
windows
winter.
in December.
did we were talking about your father doing a lot of the
Yes.
renovations and stuff. Does your dad did he take care of those renovations, or does he have does he do the general contracting and subs everything out to people?
So
or?
he has always done the renovations himself.
Okay.
So growing up, the renovations took years because
Mm-hmm.
he would just kind of move room by room, and we would move room by room depending on what he was working in.
Okay.
I remember, I think my mom and I were out of the house when we were really little. I was really little and came home, and he had taken down the entire living room ceiling because he decided that was the day the living room would
He didn't run that
have
by your mom?
No, have cathedral ceilings.
I mean, I love the idea. I love the gumption, but that would not fly in my house if Kelly rolled up at home and we just had no ceiling in the living room.
What the hell is going on?
I don't remember it. It's a distant memory, but I don't think it went over well.
Do you mean you blacked it out because it was a tough time in the Parkhill house?
This is when we were in Maryland, and then we moved to New Jersey, and that was a real fixer-upper. We moved in, there was no heat.
Whoa.
I know, it was one of those summer houses that just didn't have
anything.
HVAC
And this is
systems.
in Manasquan?
It was in Seagirt at the
Seagirt,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of years.
So did he handle the renovations on your
No,
home, or did you
no.
do that?
So
Couldn't trust him for your real
Once I
house.
started renovating properties, I would GC the projects.
Okay.
And hire contractors to do
Okay.
everything because I'm not that handy.
Gotcha.
I'm handy, but not handy enough.
No, yeah, and I think it takes it's its own skill set to like, sort through.
It is, and
people,
I don't have
GC
the
and-
patience
Yeah,
to
it's like
learn how to use a saw.
no. I'm just saying it's its own skill set to like GC a project.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
It's like
'cause
it's
it's
a
a
whole
bunch of,
job in
like,
itself. It's like you got to be
Herding cats.
exactly, yeah.
But it is something that a good realtor is probably inherently good at. Just
Yes,
between your
because
connections and
we
organization
herd
and
cats every
communication.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta herd all of our.
Hopefully you don't have to hurt me from the mortgage side, but certainly clients.
No, but
Yes.
when you think of all the people involved in a real estate transaction, it really is herding a bunch of, for the most part, independent contractors
Yeah, it really is. Yep.
who are
and
very used
everyone
to
needs
operating
to be
on
on
their
the
own
same
schedule.
page at the
Yes.
same time
Exactly.
so that your clients can buy a house
So
on the settlement day.
in that sense, it does line me up for success in the home renovation space.
Yeah.
For sure. And it helps when, looking at homes with clients, just because I think the potential is hard for some people to see. But with the prices of homes these days, if you can see it or believe it,
Or have time and not
or
a
have
3-month-old.
time, not have a 3-month-old, it can be a great option.
Yeah, and your place, you've shown me pictures. It looks so awesome.
It is
Like, you
my
did
best
so
work.
much with the space that you had, and it's like new and it's modern and it's airy
Yeah.
and it's open and
It was a really fun little mid-century modern project, which is not my style at all.
I love mid-century modern.
But I kind of let the house speak to me and tried to make it not too period specific. So I did use like shaker style cabinetry instead of like the flat panel cabinets that would be more appropriate for the time era.
Mid-century
Time-
modern's so weird because like some of it looks too like spaceshipy.
Yes.
I like the mid-century modern that's more like California 60s. Like
Yes.
that's like the style. That's like where I
Yeah.
feel like this kind of
Exactly.
style
Like
comes
these
into
would go
play.
in my home.
Yeah, this
very
reminds
well.
me of
I'm gonna keep an eye on these things.
Gonna put them in
Get them at
Pinterest.
Target.
these remind me of the Brady Bunch.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I wonder where the Brady Bunch was set.
I think it was in
Probably
California.
had to be California, right?
It had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you
least
go.
that's where the real house
But yeah,
is,
there's
but-
certainly like some like Jetson style, like mid-century
Yes,
modern, where it's
exactly.
like sleek, clean lines, but like
That stuff
bland.
creeps me out. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
When you're s-
How my house was, the one house that I bought was like that. The kitchen was like that. I had like that sleek,
Yes.
like silver.
It's like a gloss.
Yeah. It was weird.
Everything's
Shows-
gloss.
And the
fingerprint.
countertop looked like a, like I don't know how else to describe it, but if you're at a marina and like where they gut the fish at the end of the dock,
Oh, like the metal
like
table, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a metal sleek countertop.
It looks like
and
a
it was-
kitchen, like a commercial kitchen.
Yeah,
like at a
Yeah,
restaurant.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't like this at all. Yeah, that got ripped out immediately. But no, that's very unique. I have to see pictures. You showed him, but I haven't seen any. So.
Yeah, it's very cool.
All right, cool,
Share with
perfect.
you. But also, we also had to keep in mind that we were bringing a now toddler into the space. So some of the finishes that I would have chosen if it was just the two of us made it to the cutting room floor.
So
Because
how old was he when you moved in? A year?
he was 11 months when we moved in.
Okay.
So we were able to celebrate his first birthday there.
Awesome.
I mean, you just moved in
January.
3 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
that's new.
Okay,
Like-
so this is very recent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very recent.
Okay. But it must feel nice to have like a headquarters now. You know what I mean? Like a place
Well,
you can go to and.
Until I find my next project.
Oh, okay.
But
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Can you get back into real estate? Like really, like dive in. We need more business over here. I need you to send me business.
We need you to be out there
Cut these
working.
renovations
Yeah.
out.
I know, but I'm not allowed to move. I was
Okay.
Good. Thanks, Tim.
Yes. Tim has said, I am not moving.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hard stop. He said, you can build, you can re-renovate the whole home, but I am not moving out of this
Yeah.
house. And I said, okay, for 3 years.
There's a timeline on this agreement.
I won't move out for 3 years. Deal.
And I know he's going to listen to this and he's going to be like, oh, you.
Charlie will be 4 on his 4th birthday. You're
Like,
like,
Charlie, we're moving again.
there's sawdust everywhere.
I know, but I have such a love for those old stone homes in Ambler that if one of them came on the market,
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
That's how it is in Doylestown too. Like we're outside of the borough, but with kids and everything in the space, it's nice where we're at now. But like when they graduate and they do their thing,
Yes.
my goal, not my goal, but like it would be very cool to like be in the borough old stone home, Victorian
Yes.
style porch, like.
Exactly. Those really terribly inefficient.
But they're so cool though, and it doesn't matter if it's inefficient if it's just you and him.
Right.
You know, there's no
we can
kids
live
there.
without heat.
You want to reset that real quick?
Did we die?
No. This will run for hours. That, for whatever reason.
So mark my words, I will be moving in 3 years. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Unless
All
one
right,
of those
as long
stone
as-
houses come on.
But I am planning my addition already because currently all 3 of us share a bathroom, and I think the boys need their own.
That's kind of
Yeah.
that's the tough part with one.
Oh, wait.
bathroom.
So hold on. You said the boys, you don't have a, this is your child and your husband you're
Yes.
talking about, right? Okay, perfect. So, yeah, I thought maybe there's a second kid involved. I'm like, hold on. Did I miss a whole chapter
no,
here?
those boys.
Okay, those boys. Okay, perfect.
Those
You might
boys
miss a whole
need their
chapter.
own
Yeah.
own full bathroom. So
What's
that
wrong
I
with
can have
boys?
my
But-
own full bathroom.
Do you, I think it's more that you need your own bathroom. They don't need their own bathroom. They're fine.
They need their own bathroom, Rory. I'm a team player.
Come on, Rory.
We'll have Tim on next week to see his perspective.
His
Yeah.
perspective.
I'm in the total opposite side of you guys, though. I feel like you guys are very like especially I know Rory very well now with Doylestown and everything. Like loves the community, whereas I kind of want like 5 acres of land and nobody around me whatsoever.
Well, ask him where he grew up.
I agree. Yeah.
He grew up in the mountains.
grow
And
I grew up in the Poconos. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing to do there
Yeah.
except do things in cold weather.
Yeah.
you do a lot of stuff on 5 acres land without anyone knowing. That's what he's
trust me.
trying to do. He's trying to shoot fireworks. He's trying to shoot guns.
Yeah.
The more concrete, the better.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah,
Why'd you
no.
move out of Philly then?
Because the timing is right now for us to be an Ambler. Charlie deserves a backyard. I'm sure we'll get a dog again one day that will also deserve a big backyard.
What's the grade school there? Would it be Bluebell?
I don't know.
You're not going to be there in 3 years anyway.
Yeah, true. It don't matter.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
You're not buying for the school district.
It don't matter.
Ambler would be.
No, but here's the thing though. I really like Philadelphia and I enjoy living. I was born in Philly. My parents are from Philadelphia their entire lives, and I grew up there until I was 8. But I kind of like just being like alone and having fun on my own.
If it were up to Tim, we would also be
On 5 acres.
on,
Yeah.
I mean, we would probably be on like 40 acres, and he would have a farm, and he
That's
would
exactly,
have all
yeah.
of those animals and
I want
smelly
chickens
things
and cows.
He's
and,
also.
Yeah.
I think it's worth noting. What did she? I missed it.
just the face. She was like, yeah.
Tim, I'm on your side, buddy. He's also
Ambler
a
is
chef.
compromise. He is a chef.
So like having a place to
Yes.
grow a garden and
he
maybe
would love
Oh,
to
he's a
do all-
chef.
He is.
That's awesome. That's so
Yeah.
cool. It's very. I know it's not a fun job when you're doing it, but I know
No.
it's really cool.
But those closest to him get to reap the rewards.
Yeah.
Are you saying you?
His hard physical labor.
Yeah. Perfect. That's
So
great.
Ambler is a compromise. He loves Philly. He was also born and raised in Philly.
Yeah.
But in the Northeast, so like Center City to him was a whole new world. When we
Yeah,
moved
it's not
there.
even.
It's where I grew up. Yeah, Northeast. Where is he from? Do you know?
Come on.
Why is he doing this to me?
I'm from Port Richmond.
Cut it.
Oh no. He's from like the Northeast.
Oh, like past Port Richmond?
Like Somerton.
Oh,
Buffalo, yeah.
Okay,
like
okay.
up there.
Up there. Yeah, I got you.
Up there. So when he moved into Center City with me,
He was like, what the hell's going on?
He was like, what is this?
Might as
Yeah.
well have been suburbs.
It may as well.
To
yeah,
the city, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
But he, like, I have to give him a lot of credit because then I said, let's move to Ambler because there's a duplex out there with our name on it. And he was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
But Ambler is cool. Like I always justify Doylestown. Like as you get older,
Yes.
and you have less time to be out every night and do stuff.
Yes.
Like there's enough to do in Ambler and in Doylestown, places like that where you're like,
Yes, exactly.
I don't need more than this.
No.
And I get a little extra space, and then yeah.
At this point, to visit every single establishment in the borough, it would take us like a whole month, and we don't have a whole month of time. So it is
Yeah.
really perfect because even when we like go somewhere that we have been numerous times, it's like a whole new adventure.
Yeah.
And it's a local spot, and like you get to
Yes.
know the bartenders, and
Yes.
like it does have that feel for sure.
So like I really am, I am not leaving the borough.
I love how I went straight to
So what
bartenders.
is-
I could have said baristas. I could have said servers.
Bartenders.
10 a.m. So
I got a long day ahead
Oh,
of me.
what was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask you about what the future looks like for you in real estate. Like now that you're
Now you're back in it.
Oh my gosh! Now that I'm back in it,
How many deals a week are you gonna send me?
14.
if I could send you 2 referrals a week, I think that we would both be.
Retired.
We'd be buying duplexes all over
We would be
Ambler.
buying duplexes all over the place. We'd be happy as pigs in you know what.
But it's going to be an interesting year, especially with new administration. Rates
Yes.
are kind of all over the place. You're kind of like ramping back up, back
Yes.
into like where you built your career in Ambler.
yeah, exactly.
So this could be a really interesting next 12 months, 12 to
I
18
think
months.
so. I think that from me, you'll see still a lot of like the residential buying and selling. I still enjoy doing that. I love working with everyone I'm working with. If I don't like you, I'll fire you. I'm just kidding, but I will.
Yeah. No.
It does kind of feel good to fire someone.
I mean, yeah.
We
I've only
need-
had to do it once.
I did
but
it last week.
it was-
Rory and I
the
have,
first time.
Rory and I in the past 2 months have done that, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I
It's like you're
need the
taking
business.
a little control back
but-
because we're in a people pleasing business, so we always want to do what's best for everybody. We want to put our best foot forward and do as much as we possibly can to help our clients. And sometimes that the energy that we put out is not reciprocated,
Yeah.
and when
to say the least.
to say the least. And
Yeah,
when
I
that is not reciprocated, and then it becomes almost like you are working for me type of, you will do what I say, and it becomes mean, then
That yeah.
we have to,
and I'm sure you would agree. I don't mind working for someone,
yeah.
but just be nice to me.
Yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
don't be an asshole.
I don't,
have some
we don't deserve
respect.
to be yelled at. And
Yeah.
as soon as the yelling starts, then
Have some respect and don't tell me how to do my job.
I'll have to show you when we get back downstairs the text that
Oh, boy.
was sent to me.
Oh, it's printed out and put on
Print
the
it
wall.
out and put it on the wall as if it's
Yeah,
a Zillow review.
It's pretty
Thank God he
cool.
didn't do a Zillow review.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I
Pretty
think we'll still see that. I would love to take on another renovation project to actually maybe flip it.
Okay.
And not
Get
just
emotionally
keep
attached.
collecting our emotional support homes.
Understood.
And where do you feel like that would be? Like, do you have a goal? Like, hey, I want to do it in Philly, or do you want to keep it a little closer
It's
to Ambler?
wherever my contractor will be willing to work.
Okay.
Because he hasn't fired me yet.
Ah, perfect.
Even-
We're pushing the envelope here.
even though every day I would see him, and I would only make it up there once or twice a week. So I trusted him a lot. But every time I'd show up, I was like, "Hey, Bobby, I have a thought." And he's like, "Oh, geez."
Of course you do. Just go back to Philly. Stop it.
I think we need to add a window here. He's like, "Oh my God."
Starts crying.
In which case I was then like, okay, now we have to reside the whole house, because if we're going to like move windows, we can't have
Can't have mismatched siding.
we can't have a mullet of a home.
I mean, they're back in. But
So-
this is the same guy that does a lot of your renovations and has.
So this is
did
the
your-
first time we worked together.
Oh, okay.
He had known Tim since everybody in the Northeast knows each
I
other.
mean, behind the scenes, he's like,
They
"Tim,
do.
this bitch is crazy."
I know. He's like, why? But he was absolutely amazing. I highly, highly recommend Bobby and Kevin with Hemingway's Construction.
You heard it here
You
first,
heard it
guys.
here first.
Your
They're
business is
based
about to
in
blow
the
up.
Northeast. But they are willing to travel, and they were absolutely amazing to work with. And every time I had an idea, they executed it.
Cool.
And
Beautiful.
Proof is in the pudding. So hopefully, I'll get to continue to dabble in that as well. My dad's
Awesome.
always up for a project too, so you never know.
All right.
And the
That'd be
summer's
cool.
coming up, so I imagine you're spending a little bit of time down there.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe we'll be flipping a house at the shore, because then I'll have more of an excuse to go
You
down
can't do
there,
that.
you know?
Then that'll be an emotional sport house.
Yeah, that won't be a flip. That'll be all of a sudden the second home.
At least I know it would be for me. If I bought a house down there, I'd be like, yeah,
This
this
is
would
gonna
be a
be
cool flip, but I'm
Right?
gonna
Another
keep it.
gathering place.
I do have to give my parents credit though, because after 20 however many years in their secret house that they renovated and then re-renovated, and just as they were about to start another renovation, a home in Manasquan came on the market, and it was actually move-in ready. Get this,
Oh, wow.
move-in ready.
Whoa.
Spawn's awesome too.
Move-in ready. So they, much like us, had no intentions of moving, and then next thing you knew, we were putting their house on the market. And so they have officially moved into their first already renovated.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be getting gutted very soon.
Well, they did decide to put in a pool, so the
Yes.
backyard is absolutely a mess.
There you go.
There you go. Get that in before the summer.
And my mom and I were like, "Oh, new floors would be beautiful in here."
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
As long as you don't spend all your money at Jenks, then you'll have
No.
money for new floors.
right? Oh my gosh, $15 cocktails.
I don't even know what that
They're
is.
free
Yeah.
here. I need to just.
I
send
know,
them
just
to
show.
Marathon Mortgage.
I mean, they're not as
Yeah.
good. Maybe it's not as high quality and
Oh,
espresso.
this is pretty good.
It's not bad.
I think it's delicious.
It's
Yeah.
good for where we're at in the day.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
And
I did.
I
bring,
specifically made a finite amount. I'm like,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
I did bring something though for the group.
Oh.
Because I knew that we might be talking about these renovations, and
I love this.
there is a very important lesson that my dad taught me
Okay.
when taking on a home renovation.
What's your dad's name?
Mike?
All right, Mike.
Great name.
Let's hear the lesson.
The very first thing you do
Okay.
when starting a project
Do cocaine. No. Yeah. What are we doing?
You have to crack open a nice cold Miller Lite.
A very fine Pilsner.
Yes.
Shout out to Eric Relling and Matt Mittman. They love a good fine Pilsner.
Yes. Screw
I brought
IPAs.
one for everybody. Nope. IPAs are too strong. You
Yes.
have work to do.
Yes.
You can't be foggy-headed with an IPA.
It's almost 11, guys.
A
You
fine-
need a light Pilsner
Should I shotgun this?
you can. It might help your afternoon go better. Get your day going.
Okay.
And I will send you a photo of my dad and I hard at work with our Miller Lite bottle.
Oh, my dad.
This might be the Flowertown Citywide, the version,
This is-
version of a Citywide, but Flowertown.
This is like if my dad had a daughter.
Yes.
This is exactly what this is.
It
Because
is.
my dad's the same. I'd show up to one of my like renos and I'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And there's just Coors Light like banquet just like lined up against the thing. He's
Yeah.
like, just working. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool.
It's
whatever.
a
Working.
very important
Yeah.
part of the home renovation
It is.
process.
It is. All right. Well, yeah.
So,
All right.
Cheers.
cheers.
Can you not screw this up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Cheers. Wow.
So good.
Incredible. A shot and a beer. Espresso martini and a
It
beer.
tastes like football
These
and home
couldn't be any
renovation.
different.
Couldn't be any better. Couldn't be any better.
I think that's a perfect way to segue out of here.
Yes.
We're gonna go enjoy these.
Do you have a win? We should have brought this up with you earlier.
Yeah, we didn't bring this up. We normally
A
end on a
win.
win, like something you feel proud of or something you did.
This is how
in the past,
organized our
whatever.
podcast is. We gave you no notes ahead of time. I'll do a win. Mike will do a win.
Okay.
Don't listen to what we're saying. Think
Okay.
about a win. It can be personal. It can be
What's your win?
professional. It could be, I don't know. We'll figure it
Okay.
out in a second. Just something that you're psyched about for this week, this year, whatever. Something that just happened, finishing up a renovation.
I'll do my win. My
Okay.
win. My win this week would be probably I was setting up like a baseball outing with some realtors I was with. We went out last night. We had a blast. It went really well, and I've just been very good at like setting up 2-3 meetings a week with new realtors or realtors I know, just like following up and staying in contact with them. And, working those angles.
I give you a hard time often, but you are very good at like being organized, following up,
Oh, thanks.
following through, and getting stuff done more than anyone else in the office. So
Thanks. It's
well
the
done.
It's the liquor talking. Thanks, man.
This month has started out well for me.
It has.
I mean, it's a fucking roller coaster every single month.
Every
and
month.
It's scary, but last month started out slow and kind of like got better towards the end, but I just hate being mid-month and being like, where's my business going to come from? So it's nice to have a couple in the pipeline now.
Yep.
And not that I'm going to slack off the rest of the month, but it's nice to just
Only the
have
rest
that
of today because
Yeah.
we're cocktailing.
I'm going to the shore tonight. I can't drink too much. I got to drive my family to the shore.
I'm in about 10 minutes popping these SD cards in my computer, editing this podcast, uploading it, and leaving. So
oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
You got to go.
yeah.
All right. Do you have? We're putting you on the spot. Do you got to win?
I know.
Make up something.
So I will say, like, the win for the year so far was being able to celebrate Charlie's first birthday in the house.
That's a good
That
family win.
That was a
Means a lot.
big milestone for us for a lot of reasons. So I'm gonna choose that to be
That's
my
awesome.
win
I love that.
for the first
Beautiful.
quarter.
It's so interesting when, as soon as you have a kid, you're like all this other shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Not that it
business
doesn't
is
matter, but
great.
it also
Yeah.
like it ties back to like we got this renovation done, but it feels better because we got him in for the first birthday and we got to have that party, and like it always ties back to the children.
It does. It does. And I've helped a lot of people this spring be able to move on to their next steps, and that feels great, and they are wins for everybody. But personally, it has changed so
Yeah.
much with this little bugger
Yeah.
that my win is a first birthday party.
Cool,
Beautiful.
awesome. I love that.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for
This
coming.
was fun.
And we're gonna have you on again.
Okay.
And we're gonna plan it a little bit better.
Yes.
I just wanted to get you in for the first one, get
Yes.
the jitters out, have fun, get a couple cocktails at us.
We are.
But you had mentioned that you have a designer.
I do. I have a wonderful friend,
Shout her out.
Carissa,
Built
by design.
by design.
Carissa Nanny, she is very talented. She designs renovations is the best way to describe it. So she's not an interior designer. She's not going to pick out fabrics for you. But I think a lot of people get stuck on I want to renovate my kitchen, but what's next?
Sure.
So she'll come in and help you with that next step. She can bring in the contractors
Oh, dope.
and essentially GC your project for you.
Huh. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So we'd like to have you and her on.
It would be fun.
And then
I haven't told her about this yet, but
Sure it
she
is.
will now.
just tell her how fun it is.
Yeah.
Oh, she's always up for some
Okay, perfect.
for
So
some
she'll fit
drinks
right
and
in
fun.
there.
So we're good.
And then we also kind of talked about, so your husband works at Arcadia, right?
Yes.
So potentially, I mean,
yeah.
that might be a third separate podcast, but doing it on site there. somewhere.
We'd have to rent the castle, I found out.
How much? How much is going a castle possibly
Yeah, what do you
cost?
think? Come on. This is the
How much
marathon.
can it possibly be?
It's just a castle.
This is the marathon mortgage happy
Inside.
hour, girl. We got it all. We'll rent out the castle.
Did they
no
take
problem.
Did they take a visa from Tom
Do they
House?
take Miller Lights?
Yeah,
After
We'll
I-
work something out, Arcadia. Don't worry about it.
We'll figure it out.
I don't think they're going to want us drinking in
That's
the
what,
castle.
that's what student loans are for. Anyway,
All right. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy
Thank you for
Friday.
tuning in.
Cheers.
Again,
Cheers.
Michelle Parkhill, EXP.
EXP.
Thank you for coming in.
thank you.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Killing birds with one stone is what we stay on. Wingspan never too wide for you to play on. The ways